So I've been contemplating whether or not I should make this video because there has been a ton of Star Wars news that has been announced very recently, which most of it has been, I think, pretty negative. And you know what that old saying is, if you don't have anything nice, you don't need to say it. But I think when it comes to Star Wars, you completely get that into a ball and just throw it out because Disney are just spitting in their fans' faces continuously when it does come to new Star Wars media. But again, there's a ton of reports to go over with you guys today. First of all, I want to start off by talking about the one that says the Star Wars Episode 10, 11, and 12 are in the works via Deadline. It is being reported that Simon Kinberg, the guy who did Dark Phoenix, is writing the new Star Wars trilogy, although some insiders think it may be a start of a new saga instead. Again, a lot of people are saying, like, why would you get the guy who did Dark Phoenix? Because that's a terrible movie, etc., etc. But in saying that, I think this guy has wrote some respectable movies. I think he did a couple of the X-Men that people like. He also, I believe, executive produced Deadpool and Wolverine, which was a massive success. And I mean, look, they're going in-house, which is similar to a lot of the things that Marvel have done. I think Disney are really taking that on board. They're staying in-house here, bringing in a guy who has had recent success with Deadpool and Wolverine to do their stuff. So I guess that's okay, but again, I feel like if you want to do the next Star Wars saga, you need to bring in the best of the best of the best, and it really can't be that hard to find. I mean, look at the Penguin. These are some guys who I think are semi-unknown writers, and they managed to cook some of the best stuff ever. So realistically, you just have to do your research, which I think Lucasfilm just don't care to do. But there's been some Rey reports here too. One saying that Rey Skywalker, aka Rey Palpatine, I mean, she's not a Skywalker, will be positioned as the new Obi-Wan Kenobi of the new trilogy. I mean, I don't know what this means, because Obi-Wan Kenobi in episode 4 is an old man who has a lot of wisdom, who was protecting over Luke, and again ended up passing down his wisdom to Luke momentarily, and then sacrifice himself for the greater good of the Force, really, in the 4th movie. Are you telling me Rey is going to do the same thing? She's going to be watching over some little boy that turns into an adult, aka the guy they think's the new chosen one, and then give her life up to the Force? I mean, what does this mean? I don't know. What does this mean? She's going to be the new Obi-Wan. Does this mean that she will be like, you know, the new master, and then she will have her apprentice type of thing, like Anakin and Obi-Wan? I don't know what this really means. And then, of course, a new report here that says that Rey Skywalker is set to play a role in multiple Star Wars films that are currently in the works. Again, I'm assuming this means that Daisy Ridley will be playing Rey in the new Jedi Order movie and Star Wars Episode 10. Again, this report by IGN says Rey to reportedly appear in several upcoming Star Wars films. She is the most valuable cinematic asset. Rey is the most valuable cinematic asset. In some ways, maybe the only one Star Wars has right now, an anonymous source close to the franchise said. And then you just read the comments. This guy says that this people doesn't learn. They're so disconnected from reality, and it's actually baffling. The next one said no one ever. It's just like, how disconnected are they to actual Star Wars? I mean, Rey is a very disliked character, and I feel bad because the actress is awesome and she's a really cool person. It's just her character is just so poorly written, like nearly every character in the modern Star Wars movies. And I don't understand, how is Rey the most valuable asset to Star Wars right now when you have the Mandalorian and Grogu right now, which are practically money printers? And I mean, I'm telling you, if the advertising and trailers are good for the Mandalorian and Grogu film, that will be your money makers. That movie has a chance to make well over $600 million in a time where people see the Star Wars franchise as declining and shit. The Mandalorian and Grogu is a movie that could make well over 600 million, especially if done right, and could be turned into a property that produces tons of movies and is featured in that new Dave Filoni Heir to the Empire movie as well. I mean, the formula works. We've seen the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, that formula of a bounty hunter on the run trying to protect a little child who has the Force from people trying to kill him or use his blood to recreate clones or whatever, is a very, very easily repeatable formula that works so well that realistically means the writing doesn't even have to be that good. The formula is just so great. Again, the formula can have some disruptions if in season 3 you decide to take more risks and do things, you abandon that plot and you do things that is like them trying to recapture Mandalore but actually not really show any of the cool moments of it, then yeah, it gets a little bit off track. But if you do what you did with the first 2 seasons and have that formula, you could literally create a Mandalorian and Grogu franchise. Literal money printers, which is way more of a money printing machine than what I think Rey is right now, especially merchandising. And again, I mean, Anakin Skywalker or Darth Vader. Like, how we haven't seen a Darth Vader movie is beyond me. That is literally an easy printable money maker that would make so much more money than I think a Rey project. So, I mean, what do I know? I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan who I'd like to think knows nearly practically everything there is to know about it. And I think a lot of people would agree with me that they're very similar, yet Disney, the people who make it, are very unsimilar and are arguably the people who should be least making Star Wars right now. So the Mandalorian and Grogu movie has now just wrapped filming, and look, I'm not going to lie to you guys, even though I very much disliked a lot of the recent Star Wars content, again, shout out the Acolyte and of course a shout out the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, I've been pretty vocal about it on the channel to say the least. In saying all that, I'm actually really excited for this movie. I absolutely loved The Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2, and I like to think those 2 seasons are some of the best Star Wars content we have ever gotten. Of course, Season 3 was a major letdown. It was pretty average, pretty boring. Again, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was just plain old in the middle. In saying all that, I still feel like there is a massive opportunity for this movie to be good. Now, unfortunately, again, yes, even though this movie is wrapped filming, it's still not coming out for quite a while. I think it's coming out in like May 2026, which, again, if you ask me, that's too long. That's like a year and a half away. Again, there's a bunch of different reasons. People have theorized why this movie is taking so long and all of this type of stuff. But again, the truth is that I believe Disney just have so many movies scheduled up for 2025 that they didn't exactly have room for this one. So they've scheduled it for a kind of near middle release for, of course, 2026. And the thing is, I honestly believe the advertising for this movie is going to probably run for a while, because I think they're going to be really trying to get people excited and back into Star Wars to not only try and get back faith and hope, but try and get the word around to all the Facebook mums out there who absolutely love Grogu that we are going to be getting a movie for this, and it should be something very, very exciting. Now, I do think this movie is going to be successful. I don't necessarily know if it will be $1 billion successful like a couple other ones have been, but I think with the right advertising, the right marketing, there's no reason this movie couldn't make like 600 million or something like that, which should be obtainable. And I don't even know if that will be the main money maker for Disney here. I mean, imagine the toy sales with Grogu and all that type of stuff. Oh my god. Disney should be absolutely rolling in the cash with this one. Now, of course, I do have my concerns. Again, there were a lot of rumors and theories around that the reason The Mandalorian Season 3 wasn't as good as the other 2 was because Kathleen Kennedy, the most hated, I think, CEO to ever exist, of course, who is Star Wars, apparently interfered a lot with The Mandalorian Season 3 and really tried to make Bo-Katan like the main character to add some female representation, and of course a couple other decisions that probably ruined the show. Again, I think that Dave Filoni, those rumors of he and Jon Favreau being really angry at Kathleen Kennedy and making a bunch of arguments were probably true. I also think that because of the failure of it, the streaming being so much less down on it, and of course the reception of it, I think Jon Favreau has gotten his wish and gotten his ways back again to have semi-nearly complete control of this upcoming project, and that's why I think I have a lot of faith in it. I think he's going to return to the, of course, foundation, which was season 1 of 2 of a Mandalorian with a kind of like a son going around just completing bounty hunting missions and progressing Grogu's, I think, ability with the Force. I think that's what this movie will be about, and we should still see hopefully a lot of cool things and a really, really good story. Again, I just think if Kathleen Kennedy does interfere with it, it could be a major L, and I think we all know that to probably be true. But again, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment all of your thoughts and opinions down below. Are you guys excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, or do you guys think it will be average like season 3? Do you think Kathleen Kennedy will step in and ruin more and more Star Wars like she always does? Again, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. But if you haven't already, as I just said, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.